Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. At the end of my previous episode about the artistic life of Vincent van Gogh, I asked you guys what other artists you guys would like to learn about. And you guys came back with an amazing selection of artists who have influenced and are still influencing us in the art world to this day. Now, from the list, I have chosen one artist that you guys have requested, and today we will be talking about the artistic life of Leonardo da Vinci. Born Leonardo de Ser Piero da Vinci. Yep, that's Leonardo's entire name. The reaction you are having right now is the exact same one I had when I learnt about it. Da Vinci didn't have a surname in the modern sense. Rather, his full name means Leonardo, born of Piero, from Vinci. So, reality is that during that time, there were many people with the last name Da Vinci because it means from Vinci. It's just that Leonardo da Vinci was the most memorable. Now, the whole world knows about Da Vinci. He was a painter, sculptor, inventor, and scientist. Da Vinci was the ultimate Renaissance man. But what was his artistic journey really like? Well, you're going to find out in the next 10 minutes. Da Vinci was born out of wedlock on the 15th of April 1452 to a peasant girl named Caterina di Neo Lippi. And she was only 15 at the time, while his father, Piero di Antonio da Vinci, was 25. And obviously that's a big no-no nowadays. From what historians know is that Leonardo lived with his mother as an infant, but at the age of 3, his father took custody of him and raised Leonardo in his household. Piero was actually from a very wealthy family. Comfy? Okay. Continuing. Piero was from a wealthy family, and Leonardo was treated as a legitimate son of the family. Now, growing up in the Tuscan countryside, Leonardo showed a deep appreciation for nature. He was said to be fascinated by the world around him at a young age, often drawing plants, animals, and landscapes. But how did we go from a curious child to a legend? Well, it all began with an apprenticeship. Moving forward to 1466. According to historians, when Leonardo was around 14, his father took him to Florence, which was the heart of the Renaissance. It was there that Leonardo began his apprenticeship with the artist Andrea del Verrocchio, a well-known artist and sculptor. This is where Leonardo's talents really began to blossom. From what we know, one of Leonardo's earliest works for Verrocchio was an angel in one of his paintings, the Baptism of Christ. According to legend, Verrocchio was so amazed by Leonardo's talent that he never picked up a paintbrush again. That might be an exaggeration, but that just goes to show how talented Leonardo was even as a teenager. Fast forward to 1476, and this is where Leonardo begins to break out as his own artist. By the age of 24, Leonardo had completed his apprenticeship and was now an independent master. What were we doing at 24? Probably second-guessing our choice of study at uni, still figuring out what we wanted to do in life. Yeah. He began taking on commissions of his own. Some of his earlier pieces during that time were Annunciation and Geneva de' Benci, and these paintings began to show his keen attention to detail, light and shadows, techniques that would define his style. But Leonardo was more than just a painter. He was an innovator. His notebooks from this time revealed sketches of machines, architecture, anatomical studies. He was already thinking way beyond the canvas. Now let's fast forward again to 1482. Leonardo moved to Milan to work with Ludovico Sforza, the Duke of Milan. This period was extremely productive for him, especially in terms of art and engineering. But his greatest masterpiece of this time was The Last Supper. Painted between 1495 and 1498, The Last Supper was revolutionary. Instead of traditional static depictions, Leonardo depicted the drama of the moment when Jesus announced that one of his apostles will betray him. So Leonardo's use of perspective drawings draws the viewer's eyes towards Jesus in the center, creating a very profound sense of depth and emotion. It almost feels like you're sitting at the table looking at all of them in that very moment. Now, unfortunately, as famous as his pieces, Leonardo's experimentation with oil and plaster didn't really hold up to time. And even in The Last Supper's deteriorated state, it remains one of the most important masterpieces in history. We're going to move forward again to the 1500s. Now, after Milan fell to France in 1499, Leonardo returned to Florence. It was during this time that he painted his most famous piece, the Mona Lisa. Now, we all know that smile, that enigmatic smile in art history. But why has Mona Lisa captivated people for over 500 years? I think that it's just the mystery of it. Is she smiling? Is she not smiling? Is she sad? We'll never really know. Let's move forward once again to 1508. Now we've reached Leonardo's later years and had shifted more of his focus towards scientific exploration. He filled his notebooks with flying machines, anatomical studies, and engineering marvels that we are still inspired by today. Some of his sketches laid the groundworks for some of our modern day technologies, such as parachutes, helicopters, and tanks. Now, as historians look back on his sketches on anatomy, he was centuries ahead of his time. Leonardo dissected human cadavers just so he could accurately sketch the muscles and veins inside of a human body. But while Leonardo was delving deeper into science, he never gave up his art. In fact, one of his last great projects was a grand equestrian statue, but it was never finished because of the lack of resources. In 1516, Leonardo moved to France at the invitation of King Francis I, where he spent his final years. The king greatly admired Leonardo's talents and provided him a comfortable life at the Château de Clous-Lucé. And it was there that Leonardo continued to work on his notebooks, although he began to suffer paralysis in his right hand. And on May 2nd, 1519, Leonardo passed away, possibly from a stroke. We can't really know for sure, leaving behind an unmatched legacy. There are many more paintings that Leonardo created that we haven't mentioned today, such as the Vitruvian Man, Lady with an Ermine, St. John the Baptist, Salvator Mundi, and the list goes on. Leonardo was more than just an artist. He was a visionary that sought to understand the world in its entirety, from the mysteries of the human body to the possibility of machines. His relentless curiosity and genius still influence us to this day, over 570 years after his death. Whether through his art or his science, Leonardo da Vinci changed the course of history. Thank you so much for staying with me till the end of this episode. It really means a lot. I'm still new to the world of YouTube, so bear with me while I'm still learning to edit. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share it with your friends, or if you'd like to see more, please subscribe. That'd be greatly appreciated. Stay amazing and stay creative, guys. I'll see you guys in the next episode.